snow, beautiful day, mountains. Where are we, Michael?
Antonia, it's a pleasure. We are here in Flums, right in front of the Hagerbach desk gallery. You can see the entrance here. Well, Flums is not so far away from Zurich. It's about 1 hour from Zurich, not so far from other cities like Vaduz in Liechtenstein, Munich, Milan, everything about a 2.5 hours distance here to our place. 50 years ago, the desk gallery was started here from scratch. There was nothing else, there was just a mountain. And the first drilling and blasting started in 1970, right here at this place.
I was wondering, Michael, could we have a tour? Could you show me the place?
You're welcome. Let's go inside. So first I will invite you to a coffee in our restaurant.
Wow,
okay?
that sounds wonderful. Thanks.
Good.
Michael, this is an underground restaurant here in the gallery. Where are we in the gallery? This is such a large space.
Yes, in fact, over the last 50 years, you can see on the map of the gallery, this was growing from 0 to about 5.5 kilometer total length, I can show you. Originally, this was once a floor shop.
Right.
The red dot here is the restaurant, the canteen, and basically this entrance area here, let's say about 1/3 of the total gallery, is a continuous operation, like the restaurant, our event location that you can see here. So we can use this for multi-purposes. Well, of course, you can have a coffee here, you make the coffee break, but you can have lunch and a lot of things more like. Well, and as you see, beyond this 2/3, this is a construction site where we can do the real research, testing, but also training, education, health and safety, blasting training, real blasting. It's all at a one-to-one scale on the interface between laboratory and construction site.
Fascinating. So it's really everything from the historic applications to very future-oriented uses to also social uses.
Yeah.
And research as well.
Yeah, and it grew always project by project with our partners, individual partners. So it is not just, we are not just a tunnel from A to B, but we are a full network with caverns, with different sizes, with different surfaces. We have linings, we have concrete segment linings, we have the rough sprayed concrete on the wall. We do the sprayed concrete nozzleman trainings here. It's fascinating diversity that we can offer and show.
I'm so excited about our tour today. Let's continue.
Okay.
Hi, Astrid.
Hello.
I'm very excited to be here in this underground laboratory here at Hagerbach. And I'm very curious to find out more about the type of work you do here and also how many people work here underground.
Yes, of course. Welcome. We are a construction materials testing lab. We are not only here, we have 4 different labs in whole Switzerland. This is our main lab. What we do is we test construction materials. That means mortar, concrete, hard and fresh, rocks, stones, aggregates, more and more as well recycling materials. What we do as well is element and system testing as well as fire testing. And as well, what we do as engineers, we go out on the construction site and do status quo of a building. So in which status is it? What do we have to do? We are 15 people. That means lab technicians, engineers and geologists.
Wow, fascinating. Seems to be like a very professional setup. And from what I understand, you're never out of work, correct?
That's correct.
The clients keep on coming and asking you for more professional assessments and analysis here?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And our main goal or our utmost concern is actually to provide the perfect service and the support for our customer in any direction of construction materials.
And we're very interested also what the future will hold in terms of survival on other planets and the kind of construction materials we'll need to test then.
This and the digitalization, for sure. Yes.
Correct, correct.
Yes.
Two major challenges, but things to look forward to.
Yes.
For sure, yes. Thank you very much for the time. I think
Thank
we
you.
move on in our tour.
Okay,
because
Michael.
there are still a lot of things to show.
Let's go.
On the left side is our largest seminar room
Oh, right.
that we
okay.
have. So we have 5 seminar rooms where people can make workshops, can elaborate, can do the theoretical sessions for the trainings. And afterwards, you see in front of us, we enter into the construction site.
So I am curious, what are the challenges for the chemical construction industry?
We can make some example to understand which are the challenges we are dealing with since many years. For example, if we take a look at the superplasticizers, which are chemical products we use for concrete, being concrete still the main raw material for construction industry. These were introduced 40 years ago, more or less 40 or 50, I don't know. And these materials, they allow, for example, a reduction of water during concrete production, and of course also an optimization of the cement contents in concrete. Try to imagine how much in these last 5 decades has been, for example, the reduction of the carbon dioxide footprint in the cement industry just for this reduction in or optimization in cement content in concrete.
So as I understand, you're a front runner on this, and you're really innovating for future construction materials and also for future living environments. And these could be urban, these could be in smart cities, but could they also be on Mars?
Could be on Mars. Could be on Mars.
How do we make concrete on Mars?
On Mars we have to make with salts. What is missing is not the binder on Mars. What is missing on Mars is the water to batch cement. But there are a lot of salts, and we can use local rocks as construction material. Of course, we cannot bring construction material from the earth because it's too far away. But salts may help to make, the local salts may help.
Or vegetables. If we start to produce vegetables on Mars, we can make construction material.
Some nice challenges to think about for the future, right?
We have to go back a little bit to the early Earth technologies of construction, means building cities inside long tunnels or inside big caves, and so. The main challenge will be for the future probably the raw material, I would say.
Right.
How to use raw materials, yes.
Right. And we're glad to have you as a partner for the Hagerbach Test Gallery in further developing such materials for hostile environments. And I think we can test those here on site in the Hagerbach Test Gallery, correct, Michael?
I think that's one of the most focuses to have this proof of concept possibility on a real one-to-one scale. The combination of driving innovation and technology. You can do a lot now with the digitalization to have this digital environment, but finally the reality counts. And here you can do the proof of concept one-to-one. You have so many different aspects of a tunnel, of an underground environment, small caves, large tunnels, small tunnels, So all these
All
things
the sections are here, yes.
can be really played
And
for.
this is also all part of the Mission Earth First initiative, where we're really trying to look at future uses of, well, could be on other planets, but that we're testing in an underground real environment.
Thank you very much, Oscar. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Looking forward to our next activities jointly.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're entering the actual construction part of the gallery.
Absolutely right.
Uh-huh.
And the more you see, we have different profiles. The profile in front of us, what you see here, this is the highway profile. You see, this is very, very broad. And this was made on purpose also.
it's very
we do
broad.
testing, in particular on health and safety aspects. I would like to show you in one of our earlier webinars, we introduced the edge computing underground.
Oh, wow. Please,
Right.
let's have a look.
So if you have a look,
Yeah.
this is a project
Uh-huh.
done by this SCOUT consortium. SCOUT, we presented the last time, the Swiss Center of Underground Applied Technology. And with partners like Detwiler, Amberg Engineering, GeoEck and Siemens. And they have made here a small, or let's say the smallest suitable size of a data center that can then be easily multiplied in a large multi-data center also.
So they're using that for prototype testing here.
This
And
is a prototype really to learn about the best, or how to best manage the parameters underground and how to make use of the underground environment for the benefit of such a solution for the data center, for the data protection. Also because protection is an important part to make this safe in the right way and actually to use an additional space instead of consuming valuable landscape on top of the earth.
I think that's a very valuable application, right, for the future.
Absolutely. You see here on the right side, we
Wow.
have
Okay,
a
a real
small-
TBM.
a gripper, a TBM tunnel boring machine.
Yeah.
And
Was that one of the first ones used in Switzerland?
well, this originally comes from the United States and had in the 60s it was produced and made in total about 20 kilometers of active digging. It's a small gripper with a diameter of 3.5 meters. You know, the new large international TBMs, they are more than 20 meters in diameter. We use it
Impressive. Wow.
to introduce also to the audience the technology, and this is about mechanized tunneling. You know, in the origin, it was about hammer and picking out the rocks. This is not so many years or decades ago. Then the drilling and blasting was done. Here in Hagerbach, we did a lot of development, be it of blasting material, but also endurance tests and the development of the drilling technologies. And still, if you talk about Mars, how to do an excavation, maybe just robot excavation in the future, a lot of testing and development is still needed. Yes, Antonio, I think the geotechnics is extremely important also for Mars, because what is the way how we built these underground caverns on Mars? This has a lot to do with the geology itself, geotechnology, to have this understanding, because this influences also, well, the way how large we can make the caverns, how we best design them, and then of course the technology itself, how we can propagate and how easily you develop this. And I think it's nice to do this testing here. We have hard rock in Hagerbach. We have also very soft type of rock, shale type of rock. So this combination in Hagerbach helps to enlarge the testing environment and the testing possibilities to develop suitable solutions for the right purpose.
I understand you have a very large cavern near here. That's the one with the largest cross-section. Are we going to see that as well? Wow, is that the cavern? That's huge. And you said you explore all kinds of testings here and geotechnical applications?
Yes, for example, what I can think of, I remember we had large spraying concrete campaigns to really do specialized research on special fibers, in fiber reinforcement in sprayed concrete. We had with the construction chemicals here, dealing with a lot of chemicals to better seal or better inject material, injection topics, all different sizes. A lot of technical aspects, drilling, even blastings that we did in here, so yeah.
I can imagine, I mean, this is such a big space that it has so many applications. But what else can you use it for, Michael? Can you work your magic?
Of course I can do the magic, and then we are in a different world.
Wow.
And you see, then it's about concerts, then it's about events, special gathering of people for a company event, magics.
Host 500 people here, that is impressive.
And it makes a lot of fun. Especially also to consider underground, that's typical. You don't have any disturbing lights. So if you switch off the lights, it's dark.
Right.
It's really dark. And where can you better play with light than in the dark? So with projections, with modern things, you can create almost every world environment. The imagination is, the fantasy is free. That's fantastic. Here we are now in a very special place. This is a long history after the Mont Blanc incidents.
Wow.
Here, investigations on a European level were done in regards of fire protection. Fire protection, health and safety underground anyway is a topic.
Yeah.
And if you have a lot of people there, you have a confined space, you need to develop new technologies, be it from the detection systems towards the alerting, the evacuation systems, the firefighting or smoke fighting activities. So a lot of research in this respect was also done in our gallery here. And you can still see some residues of this. We have 2 wagons from the National Rail. We use them nowadays for exercises. If you have visitors, so we have a small cinema in, we can have some shows with artificial smoke, not real smoke, but theater smoke, how this is working or what the impact of this is.
How
actually.
people can find their way in such a situation, how they can find their way out.
To be frank, it's extremely strong, the experience for all senses. If you see all of a sudden you can't see your hand in front of the eyes. You lose completely orientation. I think another important topic we have also is fire protection of the materials in use. For this, Astrid mentioned this in the laboratory.
Yeah.
We have our fire testing laboratory. This is inside here, where we can do concrete tests or panels or element testing on fire. There are pre-described heat curves where you expose the surface of these materials and learn how the material behaves, if it is falling, if it is resistant enough to the impact of the fire.
So you expose it to very high temperatures, and you test the durability and strength.
We follow exactly the behavior over 60, 90, 120 minutes to learn and see what the reaction is. This is from our sister company, Hagerbach Technology. They do here geomatics, measuring technology and optimization. Because of course, when you construct, you need to make sure from a dimensional point of view that you do the proper propagation, or that you find the right points if you approach from different sides, that you meet. Imagine the Gotthard Tunnel with his 57 kilometers, and then you are 2 meters apart, missing completely, or 20 meters, whatever.
I guess it's a matter of centimeters that you have to work in a
Yes,
very
you need to have
precise
a
way.
very precise, high quality of measurements.
Surveying and precision tools. Yeah.
I think important for us is also to support the industry and the partners to find better solutions to closed cycles. If we talk about circularity, it's about the material, but it's also about waste, all the consumed stuff that we have. And if we have people living underground, also these things, as I mentioned with the channeling, sewage channels, how to make proper use and re-elaborate or make the best
The
out
whole
of this.
production and
Yes.
consumption process, right, and cycle has
Correctly.
to be taken into account.
And here we have the relaxed, stress-free prototyping environment to develop and have a more dedicated view on these topics. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Now I can invite you to a small tour on our
Yay.
train.
Great.
Perfect.
Super. I'm looking forward.
Cool.
This was a really good tour so far.
Here we do blasting tests. This time.
Oh, wow. Where have we reached now?
This direction we showed already in one of our last webinars. We talk about the underground farming. This
Is that here?
From the Scout Consortium, underground farming. And I think this is a key topic if you want to expand to other planets, to other environments, how to feed people that should live there.
Absolutely.
How to make the underground a living, verse, autark environment that can sustain itself. Closing also the cycles about the thing we spoke earlier in recycling and making best use of all material available
Yeah.
that you have locally.
Current agricultural practice is no longer sustainable, correct?
Yes.
And so you're testing here future ways to
Yes, we built
build agricultural systems.
with these
right?
partners from Scout this prototype.
Yeah.
And the prototype, the good thing is you learn to tune all different parameters. We talk about underground light source. What type of climate conditions, what type of salads or greens or vegetables, or
What grows
type
under
of
which
food?
conditions?
absolutely.
Yeah, like humidity-wise and lighting-wise and
Yeah, if you
watering-wise.
don't have storm, you have always a protected weather
Yeah.
environment, full year.
constant conditions. Yeah.
But you need also to know the parameters
Yeah.
because maybe the day-night cycle from one type of leaves is different from another salad.
Sure. Yeah, I see.
And then the nice thing is we have an aquaponic system prototype. So we even do a fish environment and cultivate fish that we can use afterwards in our restaurant, for example.
Wow.
But this we showed already in other
Yeah.
types of the webinar. This is the place where we have this. I think we come to the end of our short tour, but giving an insight in Hagerbach itself, what we do and how we work with our partners, how we work with the initiative Mission Earth First. So thank you very much for joining me to this tour, for all your questions to make this a bit clearer to all our friends and interested parties.
Thanks so much. I'm so impressed, and it's really great to see what all the applications are that are actually being tested here and that you're experimenting on, and that also lead the way to the future of underground construction, of underground technology, of digitalization, of agricultural. I mean, there's no end to it.
Yeah, we at Hagerbach, we are looking forward to the next 50. We are sure there is so many things still to do. There are so many challenges, and we are keen with our current partners, with new partners, to develop new ideas, to work with startups, to work with universities, to work with industry as we did already in the past 50s. And there are so many things. This is the environment to do it.